Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the series about black men's opinions, how they feel about our natural hair, and the natural hair movement. I hope you really watch this video, listen to what they have to say, and just comment below any questions that you would like to hear. I have the same questions that I was going to ask. I'm going to ask each individual, but if you have a question that's not really answered in the video, go ahead and comment below and let us know, and we will feel free, and we will address those questions either in another video, or I might have them come back just to ask these questions. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Hi, I'm a regular black dude, and I saw that Ray Lewis bought some really expensive tap shoes this week.
Okay, so let's get started into the video. So we just wanted your opinions about natural hair. So how do you feel about African American Afro textured natural hair?
Afro textured? That's a word?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but when it comes to African American hair, I like it. I like African American women. I am for the chocolate, so I love natural texture to hair. I love how it feels. I love the different coarse textures of it. I love the different styles that there are for natural hair. One thing that I do find myself going away from is actually being attracted to people to weave. Like, it just becomes so generic when you see so many people with weave, whether it be different colors or not, or length or style or anything like that. Like, it just becomes so homogenized to the point where when you do see African American women with natural hair and sitting there with afros or puffs or anything that they do with that natural hair, it becomes very appealing when you see them in the open.
So when you say that you get tired of seeing like weaves, is it more so like the straight weaves, the curly?
I really don't get tired of seeing it. It just becomes very mundane at a certain point. Basically, like, you can just go throughout your day and see so many people and not question whether it's weave or their real hair. But when it comes to African American natural hair, you know it's natural hair and it sticks out. It stands out. And for somebody that, approves of the chocolate, I love natural hair because it shows individuality in certain cases.
Okay, so what do you think when you see a woman with natural hair just like rocking her puff or her afro or whatever? Like, what do you think when you see that woman?
The word that comes to mind for me, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but the word that comes to mind for me is unique. It presents a unique style and flair of a person that shows, hey, I can do different things with my hair rather than going to a beautician and just sitting there for 3 or 4 hours and putting tracks in, or 6 or 7 hours and having braids put in or whatnot. I understand that. I understand that's beautiful as well. But sometimes you just want to see something different, and not just saying ethnically different, but just different in the approach of people, how they think about their own hair.
So would you say you're more attracted to women who have this uniqueness, as you say, or it just varies on the person?
I like all the chocolate, okay? I like all the chocolate. I like weave. I like natural hair. Just because one's a little bit more appealing to me on one day or the other just tells you that I'm a man. That's all that really comes to me. I mean, it really doesn't matter what they have in their hair and everything. It's all about personality. It's all about that first response your body gives you when you see a person. And since we're talking about natural hair shows you that somebody is a little bit more eclectic and self-aware and unique in the process of doing something with their hair, rather than doing something very mundane and generic and just getting their hair done in a specific way that everybody else has it.
So how do you feel about, like, since natural hair is becoming more of a prevalent thing in our community, in our society, it's becoming more acceptable?
It's always been something that's been acceptable in our community and all around. It's just it's being brought to the forefront because of the appropriation of different things. And yes, it's been going on for a long time, the appropriation of hair, culture, music, entertainment, all that you see in your magazines and your videos and on TV regularly. But the clash, the fighting of reclaiming those styles and those different types of things that make African Americans essentially what they are in, I can't get that word right, so I'm going to start back over. The thing that makes African Americans in that sense is reclaiming what is theirs and reclaiming the things that make you inherently part of your culture. And that's the part that's really being prevalent now in today's society. That black people are saying, whoa, 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 we're not going to let you have cornrows. We're not going to have you, you know, walk around with an afro. We're not going to let you be transracial and things like that, without recognizing that African Americans go through certain struggles because they have these type of skin tone, they have these type of hair textures, and they also have these impediments whenever they want to do things with their skin tone and hair texture.
Okay, so how do you think, like, with it becoming so much more prevalent in, let's say, the Hollywood?
You like that word, prevalent.
I do. And stop. But when we look at, you know, America's standard of beauty or whatever, now you see more African American women of different skin tones other than light skin with the kinky, coily hair. How do you think it affects our children now that they're able to see this based before, like when we were younger, it was just straight hair?
Oh wow, that's a very unique question, a very broad question, considering I don't have any children yet. Like my sperm hasn't budded.
Oh my goodness, you gotta ruin.
But you're ruining your own video because I was gonna answer the fucking question.
Go ahead.
However, portraying that to children, whenever you put something in front of a children's eyes on TV or in mass media, it always desensitizes them to a certain point. So they don't see it as intrinsically black or intrinsically white. They just see it as intrinsically American or of their culture. And they don't have a sense of an actual culture as a people once they start to learn African Americans, you know, plight over the last 400 to 500 years in America. Then they see the difference between why it's acceptable here and why it's acceptable here and why it's not acceptable somewhere else. So when it comes to children, I think they're just a little too young to have this debate on whether African American hair is something that they should be looking at or frowned upon when it comes against, when it's on white people or any other person that's not African American or of Hispanic descent with African tones in them, the booty shakers.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, I'm a random black guy, and I'm in the camp that realizes Usher's been telling us he had herpes.
Okay, so natural hair. Let's get to it. So, how do you feel about natural hair?
It's a very vague question, but I feel like natural hair is something that African American women can bond around. I feel like culturally it is beautiful, it is unique how they do their hairstyles, and it's a wonderful experience to see the different creative hairstyles that they can have when they do put their mind to it for the hairstyles that are African American regular.
So what do you think when you see women walking down the street with natural hair? What's the first thing that really comes to your mind?
I really, like, outside of the fact that they probably smell like mango oil and shit like that. No, that's a beautiful thing. Mango oil smells good as shit. Shout out to all the mango oils out there. But really what I think is that that mango oil thing really threw me off. So,
I bet it did. Just keep
I
going.
gave a shout out to mango oil. But I actually think when I see a black woman or a woman of color and different descent other than Caucasian, they look really beautiful with the things that they do to their hair. It's like, again, it's unique to the experiences of their culture and what they see, and as they grow and develop and identify more with their skin tone, I see that women become a lot more creative with the different things that they do with their hair. Not just getting weave or braids when it's hot because they don't want to do anything with it. and stuff like that. I mean, that all becomes very mundane and repetitive at times. So it's refreshing to see different creative hairstyles.
Do you have a preference of whether or not a person wears weaves or natural hair or get relaxers?
Not necessarily, because I'm a big fan of chocolate, whether it's white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. Hell, let's go ahead and throw caramel and other as a chocolate in there, because it's always mixed with chocolate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I really don't have a preference of different hairstyles, because really it just denotes a different texture of the hair, and however a woman feels her hair should be done and how it should feel at that moment. Go ahead, live your life. You're beautiful.
How did you feel about the natural hair movement, like when it became really popular, like on social media, like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram?
I feel like I should have a gray beard like David Banner right now and tell you that the natural hair movement started in 1812 with one slave, but no, I'm not going to do that at all. I never knew that it was a real movement, because I'm not that active in certain sectors of social media to find out about things like that. But however, if it is a movement, it is a wonderful and refreshing movement, along with Black Girl Magic and different things like that. It shows the creativity of ethnic people that is trying to always be suppressed. So anything that goes towards being yourself, being creative, being unique, and being understood in your own perspective is something beautiful to me.
Alright, well, thank you. Really enjoyed your opinions.